card so you can
There's
put it in
card.
the minutes the right way if you need to.
Okay, thank you.
Good evening. I'm here on behalf of Affordable Gas and Electric. We have recently formed a Illinois Schools Energy Management Program that I want to talk with you guys about real quick and give you a run of the 2 ways we can help a school district save money. This may be a little unfamiliar to you guys because the city of Metropolis is a city-owned electric distribution system. So for the first part of the scenario, it only focuses on Brookport. Brookport is in the Ameren service territory where it's deregulated, meaning Ameren is a delivery utility, but you can choose where you buy your electricity from. So on your Ameren bill, you have electric supply rates and electric delivery rates. The rates that we're going to look at tonight only affect the electric supply section of the bill. The electric delivery section of the bill would remain with Ameren at the same they are currently. First, we have a sheet with bids from retail electric suppliers. These are companies that you would contract with at a fixed price for either 12, 24, or 36 months. If you pull out the second sheet that I handed out, it shows you in red your current electric supply rate month to month. You can see that it actually changes a little bit month to month, and it's actually shown here in the graph below. The solid blue line is what Brookport has paid over 2017 on a month to month per kilowatt hour. The other 3 lines there are the fixed rate proposals that we have obtained from our retail electric suppliers. The 12-month price is the lowest because there's it's always lowest to do the shortest term because there's less risk involved for the suppliers. And the 12-month price right now is 0.44445 per kilowatt hour. In 2017, on the Brookport electric bills, that would have saved $2,300 for the school district. The 36-month option, while the savings are not as much on a year-to-year basis, to be able to lock in right now at a 0.4684 for the next 3 years, that would generate roughly $3,400 in savings over the 3-year term of the contract for the school district. So the first step in the Illinois Schools Energy Management Program is to help districts obtain the lowest rate on the electric supply section. The second step would then be to conduct an energy audit. So you have your electric supply rate, you get the lowest rate available. Now we come back in and work with you guys to lower your actual consumption by doing efficiency upgrades through all of the district's buildings and schools. There's a couple ways we do that totally free to our participating schools. We have a 26-year Ameren veteran who's on staff with us. He conducts a completely free energy audit of all the school's district buildings. He will report back to you guys opportunities that are available and savings that would be available. In Brookport, that's serviced by Ameren, there's actually incentive money that Ameren puts out there for districts to upgrade their facilities. They even do a summer break program specifically for schools that gives you a higher incentive if you guys can complete a project before August 31st deadline. So that would be something to consider as we...
Is that like we're putting in more LED lighting?
LED lighting, upgrading HVAC systems.
What kind of money are you talking about? Incentives?
Well, Ameren has it's a rebate program, so
Right.
you get like, it could be anywhere from 10 to 20% depending on what the type of project is that you would get back. And I was telling Jason before the meeting, we actually have a program, we have a partner that does a leasing option. So the school district would not have to fund any upfront capital, and instead you guys would pay a monthly lease payment, And usually, and we would verify this before anything was ever agreed upon and done, but usually the monthly savings are more than what the lease payment is. So you come out of Centralia City Schools was the first one that we did a project like that for. They did a $200,000 project with their indoor lighting, outdoor lighting, and a couple other systems, switches and controls, just installing things like that. It was a $200,000 project. They did a 38-month lease on it, and they're going to be cash flow positive during that time because the savings.
And then after the 38 months, it's total savings.
After the 38 months, it's total savings, and you guys own all of the equipment that was installed.
They were putting lights in their entire junior high wing, so they were going with new fixtures, new lights, 30-minute install. Their custodians were doing the lights themselves. $225,000, they got a $25,000 kickback on top of all this, and they also got a grant in there in the middle of it that they were getting an $800 per month check back because they were doing another project along with it. And it made a huge difference in their junior high and their light projects that they were looking at.
Yeah, and even though the, like the high school and the junior high are here in Metropolis and it's on the city-owned, they're not eligible for some of that Ameren incentive money, but still the monthly savings would be available, and the lease payment. We looked at 1 month's worth of bills for the city-owned buildings on the Metropolis city-owned system, and I believe it was anywhere from 10 to 13 cents per kilowatt hour. But that includes everything. It's not broken out between supply and delivery. On Ameren, you guys are probably paying 8 to 10 cents all in for everything. So that's just a little bit of the difference there in the city-owned. So you probably have to be saving more on those facilities just because the rate's higher. And if you could reduce that consumption side on those, you guys would probably see a significant savings. And now is a pretty good time to conduct those energy audits with the kids getting out of school for the summer. All our guy needs to do that is either the head of maintenance or Jason or whoever. He can actually, if you guys gave him access to the buildings, he could do it all himself without having anybody walking with him, and he'll give you back a report of findings he has and opportunities that are available.
Jason, has Bob contacted you yet?
No, he has not.
Okay.
Not that I'm aware of.
He was probably waiting till we got done with tonight's meeting and some
Yes.
things like
Yeah.
that.
Really, the big amount of savings would come through new lighting probably.
The
New
biggest,
lighting.
the biggest opportunity is that because,
Sure.
yeah, because on the supply side, on the actual rate side, we can only affect Brookport. Which is the first step in our process, is always to do the procurement of electricity and making sure you guys are getting the lowest rate on the eligible accounts.
But you're also gonna go into our county schools and other schools and assess those and see where we can either cut back consumption or some other newer things that we can get.
Right, exactly.
And what type of
It's not
stock
cost us
programs?
nothing.
No.
It doesn't cost you anything for us to do the audit. Like I said, a lot of times if you do the leasing option, the monthly savings are more than what the payment is, so you guys aren't spending anything extra than what you would be anyways.
After so many months, it'd all be paid.
Exactly.
I mean, then
The nice thing about the energy audits is that when Bob comes in, Bob will go through, he'll make all the recommendations, he will go back to Ameren. You will get a certified sheet from Ameren that says, based on this change and this change, you will guaranteed to be changing and saving this type of money. So you have a packet right there in front of you. So it's, well, are we saving a nickel or a dime? No, you're gonna have that with this building or whatever changes you make. And then if you don't have the incentive money, then you can start weighing, okay, if we go through the finance options and what are we gonna save, and is it worth this for the education of the children?
And even if we had you guys do the audit, we could decide to do some of the stuff on our own, kinda like you said, with some of the
Exactly.
custodians changing out lights.
You could do it here locally with local contractors. These are just services that we provide to help you along if you need them. As I said, the light changes are done, they're designed so that your custodial maintenance people can put those in. They take about 30 minutes to unplug, take out, and put a new one in, is what they're taking in Centralia.
The main reason that we are involved on that side is a lot of districts have Ameren for everything, and then there's paperwork and stuff that needs to be filled out, so we help guide you guys through that whole process and getting that incentive and rebate money back.
How come there's nothing like that for any of these co-ops?
So the rural co-ops and the municipally owned distribution systems, when deregulation happened in the early 2000s, I know the rural co-ops were all given the option to participate or not, and unanimously said that they would not be participating in deregulation. Ameren and ComEd, who serves the Chicago area, they were forced to deregulate and open up competition and allow electric suppliers to come in and help customers lower their bills and things like that. They make all their profit on the delivery side, running the lines, maintaining the lines and things like that, but the co-ops and the municipally owned, they're just run a different way, and they're smaller areas, so they weren't forced to participate by the state legislature.
Their prices are higher.
Wish they would.
Right.
I mean, I'm paying right at .09 for my co-op in Johnson City. And Jordan, correct me if I'm wrong, when you look at these prices here, and if you look at your Ameren bill, you're gonna see a price for electricity, you're gonna see a price for delivery, and a lot of other different prices on there. This .0445 is everything. That is your delivery charge, that is everything that you would see on a bill. There's no add-ons.
Right.
That would include the Ameren delivery to there.
And that includes, our fee as the consultant is included in that price, so you guys don't actually directly pay us. You would pay the supplier bill, or a lot of times the charge is right there on the Ameren bill too, where the supplier bill's directly on the Ameren bill, and you continue to pay the Ameren bill the same way, and the supplier then would pay us based on our fee that's included in the rate.
Now, in your opinion, from what I'm reading, the energy rates are pretty low right now. So, I mean, what would you advise? Would it be wise to lock in a little higher rate for 3 years at this point because they're low, or not?
Yes, so there's really three big pieces that make up this price. Number one is the raw commodity, the electricity. That's as low as it's been in 15 years. It's not going any lower, and the risk of it going higher is probably greater than anything. So from that standpoint, that's your biggest chunk. Yes, that's number one. Number two is an item called capacity, which is basically the cost for these suppliers, and Ameren included, to supply electricity on the hottest and coldest day of the year to everybody. So there's an auction process that happens. 3 years ago, that auction cleared at $150 per megawatt hour day. This year, it's down to $10 per megawatt hour day. So right now, capacity is as low as it's been. And those are the two biggest pieces. The third piece is a transmission service charge that's done by Ameren. That is what it is. It increases year over year as they're upgrading the grid and things of that nature. But for Brookport, we would definitely recommend a 3-year contract. The other thing I need to make clear about the prices are based on a daily indicative market. So these prices are good today. When we come back in a month and if the contract is on the agenda, the prices will be a little different. It shouldn't change drastically. Actually, when we last met with Jason, if you see that rate sheet before, these prices are a little bit lower today. So, and I was glad to see that too, because that savings sheet showed a little bit higher savings on that 3-year price.
And probably the strongest point that we offer is the fact that I don't live in Metropolis, I live in Johnson City. I'm an hour away. You know, Jason's already called me once or twice. If he needs something, I'm there. I can get a hold of these guys if we have a problem. You know, we're not perfect. We'll catch a glitch here or there, but we immediately get those corrected. So we like to think that we're going to meet all your needs, your educational needs. On the table, we've left some of we're giving away 3 $500 grants for teachers in our area. It is a simple online application process. 3 teachers are going to be selected to receive $500 for whatever project they're wanting to do within the classroom. We're trying to reach the entire circle of the education arena along with the procurement of electricity and gas. My background is 35 years in education as a teacher, coach, administrator, superintendent. So that's my background. So that's why I'm kind of the tag team partner with Jordan.
Thank you for your time. Appreciate it, guys.
Jason, if you need anything, give me a call. I'll probably check with you in a week or two and see if there's anything we can do. Okay?
Like I said, odds are we'll have the special board meeting before too long, we're still hiring staff and everything.
A lot of people are. Look at the Southern. Thank you very much.
Appreciate
Appreciate
it.
having the opportunity for someone to come in to speak with us.
Yeah.
Where I work, I get a lot of these different solicitations all
Oh,
the
I'm
time.
sure.
You don't know which is credible or.
There's actually a state-sponsored program that we've run into quite a bit that isn't doing schools any favor, and that's really why we stepped in. We've helped probably 30 schools in southern Illinois, and that's why we decided we're gonna form our own group and really help them out the right way. So, we appreciate it. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, folks. Have a good meeting.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, we're gonna move on down to Aaron Jameson.
I've been resident here for 6 years. And out of the 6 years, I've seen four series on TV.
Right.
My dad was top 28 years. So he drilled me in everything he can really do right, you're doing it again. Again. And I hope a company sales actually hires me to watch over the animals and stuff for her casino. So what I'm thinking is like, okay, that's great. You know, you gotta push them to get eaten out. A nail or an animal. So I'm asking you to give me like, you know, 3 months out of high school. Show them that these kids are not scared. Cause I've been in those situations first time already. Where I've pulling kids out and pulling kids out. And what I wanna do is I wanna create a group where it's gonna be all volunteers. They're gonna be background checked, they're gonna get CPR certified. And, so we can go around different schools and even here inside, you guys need help with everything. And we're gonna have one person for each school. So Brookport, drop, these other schools and have somebody standing there on guard, so, people think, oh, twice, but what it's gonna do.
Right.
And I mean, it's not like, it's small, but you can still think anything can happen.
Right.
So with me, that's where I came up with secure mass life. It's where we're securing it, by having, businesses join up with us, even Harris, you guys, we're charging nothing. Nothing is going from the county's money or nothing. We charge ourselves, we'll have fundraisers and stuff like that.
Right.
And, so it's, even with, these Superman Day, come on. We're there to, not to be mean to people, but to, rely on bids to do that. But our main section is the schools where if the schools had ISS, we'll make them do something while we can in there.
Right.
So that's my figuring.
And you wrote the board a letter explaining the program a little bit more on what you're,
In
And-
depth.
in depth. And I've been in contact with the board attorney, and we just have to, make sure what we can and can't do, so.
I looked at the two, what they say is you can do it if you have a liability on it. So it's like, I looked at different schools and you need liability, but, okay, here you go, this is for the county, But my main goal is to stay at these schools since they're really shitty. God forbid somebody brings a gun for on visual status. I'm trained on tactical maneuver. So if I see that guy with a gun, I want to deal with him.
Right. Okay, well, we thank you for coming. Like I said, we're gonna have to check with that and, see what we can and can't do.
And there's just so many regulations we have to adhere to.
Yeah, but I think his heart's in the right place, and
It
we
is.
appreciate you
It is.
volunteering, and maybe we can get you as some sort of volunteer capacity for something, you know, if your heart's still in it, so.
Heck, like I said, you get the Superman celebration, you get the union company, so if you want me guys to walk around and just be happy, I'm fine with that. See, I'm just, you know, like the county's helped me a lot, you know, I'm interested in a lot, and they help me get it, so it's like, I wanna give back to the community, or something. It's like, hey, you walk there, sit there,
Understand?
mhm.
Well, thank you very much. Appreciate that.
Thank you, Aaron.
Okay, we, go down to next to, consent approval of, board minutes. Has everybody had a chance to look at those? Yeah. Board minutes and bills and treasurer reports, we can put them all together. If you've looked at them, which I have, do we have,
The only thing I noticed, Deb, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but some of the supplies we bought for Tyler pre-K are in there, so some of our expenditures were up and some of the bills. Some of that's coming through, is that right?
Some of it has, but next month, that's when. most
Next
of
month's
it-
is really gonna hit.
Because I kinda looked at the things today and saw how many come through on title. Now, there's some pre-K, but we've got a lot of titles still sitting there. So,
That'll be coming through, 'cause we have to get all that spent by June 30th, right?
well, we can spend that, but we have to have the
In
amendment.
the
It's
amendment,
fine.
yeah. Amendment by May, right?
May 30th.
do I, make a motion, have a motion, please?
I'll make a motion to,
Accept the,
accept the consent agenda as presented.
do I have a second?
Second.
Any more discussion? Lisa, roll call, please.
Mr. Cook?
Yes.
Ms. Larison? Yes. Mr. Summer?
Yes.
Ms. Steele?
Yes.
Mr. Saunders?
Yes. We'll move on, next one being superintendent's report.
Okay. I think it's coming up now.
Takes a little bit.
All right. It's a little crooked. You can see it though. Anyway, we just have the normal expenditure revenue, pre-K grant update, and a couple other items. On the expenditure side, we were up a little bit in April, but we've been cycling through some of the supplies, and I think we also had the raise that hit, partly, right? It only hit half a month. So I look for, May to be up a little bit more than last year probably too, especially the pre-K money that we weren't anticipating spending in our budget at all, that we got in March, so that'll count as expenditures, so. We'll probably be up a little bit more. But all in all, we're still doing okay with our revenue. We did get a bump in our revenue. We've gotten a third transportation payment, is that correct, Debbie? We weren't anticipating that one. So they only owe us one more for this year. Remember last year, we finished the year and they owed us two. And we got those in, I guess, August, September or something that helped us, when we weren't paying us anything.
December almost up, or maybe that was the year before. I
Yeah.
forget. I mean, it could
Yeah,
be
something like
before.
that. So on top of our added money for the evidence-based funding formula, we also got a transportation payment, so that helped out. And we may get one more, but you never know. Have you heard anything about that one? I haven't heard.
I hadn't actually heard about that one, just kinda, here she came.
Yeah, and usually she announces that.
She wants everybody to know.
Yeah, so we've been looking at the substitute cost, I've been sharing this out, we've been working on this a little bit, just trying to figure out, if and what we could do, to impact that. We've been paying between $275,000 and $300,000 in substitute costs for the last several years. It's been pretty steady, it kinda goes up and down a little bit, but, that's a lot of money. It's a big chunk of change that we could do something else with, and so that's something we've been thinking about. This year, it would be lower, but we've had some extenuating circumstances that we haven't had in years past. We've had more long-term substitutes, I think, than I can remember in a long time, with people quitting in the middle of the year, which didn't happen at one time. So it would be a little lower this year, but we're gonna end up about where we normally end up. And that's a lot of money, so we're gonna be looking at that and kind of analyzing that cost out. Right now, in April, as long as my figures are correct there, we spent over $28,000 in substitutes for the month of April. And that's quite a bit, so that's a.
These are all
Yeah, we have,
considered sick days, is that what they're all?
well, it's sick days, it's personal days, it's, now in this one, there's some long-term leaves in there. You know, we have 3 open positions in high school right now that we couldn't fill, so, and 1 at the elementary. Well, that impacts it too. Then, of course, we've had different things, you know, throughout the year, with FMLA and things, but, that's just something we're watching, and we've been kind of keeping an eye on that. Had some emails from staff with suggestions, so we'll definitely look at that when the time comes. On the pre-K update, the last day is gonna be June 1st, which is kindergarten graduation. And the reason we're gonna end that a little early, and we'll get this out there to parents, but we gotta prepare, for the possibility of no pre-K. As you guys know, the governor, not the governor, the state superintendent has announced that we will not find out if we get, no one will find out if they get pre-K money until the General Assembly has a budget. They're supposed to pass a budget in May. They have not passed a budget yet. May's running out. So, we have to prepare for not having it, which means we have to pack up some stuff, and that'll give the teachers a few extra days to pack up. And then we'll see. We're just kind of on a holding pattern. The staff, I'd like to brag on them a little bit. We've had a really good staff. You know, ISB didn't give us this grant till March, basically. And we've thrown this together, and we've had a lot of student gains in a short amount of time that has happened. Both sites are almost full, if not full now. So there's definitely a need there, and the teachers that jumped in there as substitutes have really helped out. And Debbie Christensen and Linda have done a lot for the program, and it's been good for those kids, even though it was kind of thrown together here at the end. So, just like to.
We end up with what, 1 class at
MES and one at
one at
Brookport.
Brookport.
Both house 20. MES is full, and last time I checked, Brookport was going to be, it was at 19, but they had another one coming in, so it may be full now, I'm not sure, but we're almost at capacity if we're not. And then we have a couple more weeks left. But it's actually been a good thing. It's been a big pain for some of us, but it's been a good thing for the kids.
If we get the full grant for this upcoming year, there'll be 2 classes in it, MES,
Well,
just 1.
It depends on which grant we get. We wrote for both of them, so there's 2 grants. One of them's the Preschool for All, which is a half-day program, and then there's also the expansion grant, which we got this time, which is the full-day program. And we wrote for both of them. I don't anticipate us receiving both of them, but it'll just depend on which one we, in the past, we've had the half-day program. This is the first time, I think, we've ever had the full-day program. But the parents like the full-day program a little better because it's hard to get your kids, pick them up in the middle of the day, you know, so. I'm hopeful that we get the full-day program, but we'll see. We won't know anything apparently until the General Assembly passes the budget. And we emailed a thing out, we got an email saying, call your senator and your representative and let them know we need to know something. You know, we can figure it out if we don't get the grant, but we need to know something now. It's not fair for the teachers and the kids and everybody else not knowing. We have several teachers that would like to go back to the pre-K classroom if we have the grant for 5 years. But obviously, we're not gonna do that till we know, because we can't afford the program by ourselves.
Can't do, no, can't do it without, we can't do that. We've tried it, we can't do it anymore.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good thing. I hope we get the grant. We'll see. I just wanted to make a note. They're trying something different, for their awards night. In the past, they've always honored those kids that, have the 4.0s or the, perfect attendance, things like that. And, that's been pretty much the extent of it, unless they're involved in athletics or something. This year, they're honoring all kids, and the idea is not just simply everyone gets a trophy. That's not the point of it. The idea is that every student this year has done something and had success at something, and so they're giving them a chance to recognize that, regardless of what. They're still gonna recognize the 4.0, the perfect attendance, everybody else that did the things that they do, but they're also honoring people that got their first A in math, or, raised their reading level to the grade they're in.
Eric invited all of this, so it'd be a big.
Yeah, it's gonna be, open to the parents, and, the staff wanted me to let you know you all are invited. It's to come as you want. You can come and go between 5:30 and 7. It's not a start and finish time. It's Thursday night. The staff is providing a spaghetti dinner, and they're bringing desserts and stuff. It's free, doesn't cost anything. We're going to use one of the white buses at high school to provide a few rides, because there's some students that expressed interest in going, and their parents can't get them there. So we're gonna try to take them there for it, and, it's gonna be an interesting concept. It's the first time any of our schools have done something like this.
Good to think outside the box sometimes.
The staff has really kind of come together and designed this thing. It'll be interesting to see how it goes. But the kids are pretty excited. They're all designing their own success star, and, bragging on. You guys are all invited, 5:30 to 7:30, May 24th. We'll see how it goes. You might see more of that, or you might never hear about it again.
Gotta try, that's right. Think outside the box.
It sounded interesting to me. As you know, I've been sharing some of this stuff out. There's a lot of legislation going through about schools and teaching. The Senate voted to raise the minimum teacher salary to $40,000. Right now, it's like 9 or 13 or something crazy. Is it 9? It's hard to believe that it's even that low, but, I never paid much attention to this one until I got to looking at our salary schedules around us, and there are a lot of districts that start below 40,000 around us. We start at 40,000, so technically it won't change what we have to do, but it is gonna be interesting to see what happens with this bill. One of the reasons we have the ability to borrow teachers from surrounding districts is because we've traditionally paid more the past few years, and this could change all that very easily. And then the other thing is, a lot of these nearby districts that start out at 29,000 or low 30s, if they have to use a lot of this evidence-based funding money to bring up those salaries, they're basically gonna be right where they were before. So it's kind of something interesting dilemma, to see. So they're giving us more money, but then they're telling you have to do certain things with it, because there's no money for this bill, as far as I know. They're just saying you have to do it. So it's gonna be an interesting one to watch, and there's several others. Yeah, unfunded mandates.
Unfunded mandates.
It's a good thing. I mean, teachers should be paid well. We're not arguing that point. It's interesting the way the legislature does it. And that's all I have for the superintendent's report.
I need to go back up for Aaron for his week, skip him.
Oh, yeah.
Aaron, I'm sorry, we're gonna go back to you. You got anything?
I would have one reminded you.
Okay, all right, we're gonna go down to the, unfinished business with no limit there. New business,
Yeah, you'll need a motion to authorize bids. We didn't do this last time. Lisa reminded me, it's at the time of year that we open up bids for food, dairy, bakery, student pictures, and insurance. And then we'll come back with those bids for next year.
okay, and then, we're also gonna do the, boiler replacement, or we're gonna settle it now?
Yeah, you'll have to do two separate ones.
Okay, first one's gonna authorize bids for the dairy, bakery, student pictures, and insurance. I need a motion, please.
I'll make that motion.
Got a motion second?
I'll second.
Second. Any discussion? Lisa, roll call, please.
Mr. Cook?
Yes.
Ms. Larison?
Yes.
Mr. Summer?
Yes.
Ms. Steele?
Yes.
Mr. Sowers?
Yes. Next, approval for the bid for the boiler replacement at Franklin Elementary.
Yeah, and I sent those, several bids. We're obligated to take the lowest responsible bid,
You got a good
and,
contractor.
yeah, that was
Lowest.
HSG was the lowest responsible bid. I talked to Ken Medley about this, he's kind of been, we did all this in between architects, so he's kind of been the guy, telling me what we need, and the reason we need to move forward on this one is we don't feel like we can get through another winter season with the boiler like it is. It could be dangerous, it's leaking,
I went up there and looked at it.
we've gotta spend some money and fix it.
I seen two of them had the same, Will McLean, I think spec, is that right? Did I read that? Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, is that what,
and we didn't, the only thing we specified in the bid was a certain efficiency, and then we didn't,
Size.
yeah, we didn't specify a brand or anything
Yeah,
like that, so.
And I also looked at the possible changing of the 4 pumps. And, this here has, all of it's pretty well covered. Don't have, this one didn't have the price number change, but these here said if they need to be, they give a price, but I'm sure.
Yeah,
I'm sure if Howard thought they needed to be changed, he would.
the only thing that, HSG, he did tell me that the location of 2 of the pumps, he might recommend changing, which might alter the price just a little bit, but, he said they're located up high. I don't
Right.
understand that. When they're lower, they last longer.
Right.
So the way they're connected to the
Yeah.
system, so that's the only difference, I think, in any of them.
Okay.
Do I have a motion from somebody?
I'll make that motion to, for HSG Mechanical,
Okay, do I have a second?
on board.
I'll second.
We have a second. Any more discussion? Lisa, roll call, please.
Mr. Cook?
Yes.
Ms. Larison?
Yes.
Mr. Summer?
Yes.
Ms. Steele?
Yes.
Mr. Sowers?
Yes. Okay.
I think they changed that one over. We still have fuel oil at,
Yeah, I know it's not
Unity.
natural
I think that was natural gas, I think that was.
Jefferson still fuel oil too.
Yeah,
Do we have natural gas out at Franklin, it goes by there, or is it?
I think it does.
Yes, it does.
Yeah, I think it does.
Oh.
Cause we had to close,
Yeah, LP out there, if
we had to close the school at one time, they had a gas leak out there. I think it runs all the way out.
natural goes out,
Yeah,
on out there, I wasn't sure.
I think so. I could be
If
wrong.
we had natural out there, if it was, yeah, I did,
We're gonna move right into,
that's good.
actions, items from the executive session, personnel and stuff. We're gonna move right into, resignation for Pat Clark, MJHS baseball, this junior high baseball only. And, can I do these together or separate?
Yeah, you can do the 2 resignations together.
Okay. And Jacob Towers, Massac County High School math teacher. Need a motion for that?
Yeah, yeah.
I'll make that motion.
Do I have a second? Have a second? Any discussion? Lisa, roll call.
Mr. Cook?
Yes.
Ms. Larison?
Yes.
Mr. Summer?
Yes.
Ms. Steele?
Yes.
Mr. Sowers?
Yes. We have, retirement, Carol Eftink, 3 years, notice, 2021. And Debbie McCabe, 3 years, and this year, counts as 1 year.
Yeah, so Ms. Eftink would retire in 2021, Ms. McKay would be 2020.
2020. Okay, do I have a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Have a second?
Yeah, I'll second it.
Any discussion? Lisa,
Don't
roll
leave
call,
me,
please.
right?
Mr. Cook?
Yes.
Ms. Larison?
Yes.
Mr. Summer?
Yeah.
Ms. Steele?
Yes.
And
Yes.
Mr. Sowers?
Yes. Okay, for his new appointment, can
Oh,
I
you
all
can
these
get that.
together, or do we need to do each one of them separately?
Probably do it.
16 or so.
Okay.
One's probably best.
Okay, I have Deborah Weed, from Brookport Special Education, cross-category.
Yeah, she's our recommendation for the cross-category room. We have to move to Brookport next year from, to expand the special education programming.
I need a motion for that.
I'll make that motion.
Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a second. Any more discussion? Lisa, roll call, please.
Mr. Cook?
Yes.
Ms. Larison?
Yes.
Mr. Summer?
Yes.
Ms. Steele?
Yes.
Mr. Souders?
Yes. Dane, yeah, Dane Gregory from Metropolis Junior High School Special Education. I need a motion.
Yes.
Second,
I'll second.
any more discussion? Lisa, roll call, please.
Mr. Cook?
Yes.
Ms. Larison?
Yes.
Mr. Summer?
Yes.
Ms. Steele?
Yes.
Mr. Souders?
Yes. Brittany Carver, Massac County High School Language Arts.
Yeah, and this is a position that's been open since Christmas, and, lady left.
Need a motion.
I'll move.
Second,
Second.
any more discussion? Lisa, roll call, please.
Mr. Cook?
Yes.
Ms. Larison?
Yes.
Mr. Summer?
Yes.
Ms. Steele?
Yes.
Mr. Souders?
Yes. Sarah Wessel, Unity, 5th grade. She's been there for a year with a 1-year contract. We're now bringing it up to make a full-time position there. I need a motion, please.
I'll make that motion.
Got a second?
Yeah, second.
Second? Any more discussion? Lisa, roll call, please.
Mr. Cook?
Yes.
Ms. Larison?
Yes.
Mr. Summer?
Yes.
Ms. Steele?
Yes.
Mr. Souders?
Yes. Next, we have Chris Kennedy, in, MES elementary position that's been open, right?
Yeah, it's a kindergarten position. I should put kindergarten.
Okay, it's kindergarten.
I'll make that motion.
We have a motion, have a second?
I'll second.
Any more discussion?
Good.
Lisa, roll call, please.
Mr. Cook?
Yes.
Ms. Larison?
Yes.
Mr. Summer?
Yes.
Ms. Steele?
Yes.
Mr. Souders?
Yes. Corey Hastings, Brookport Unity Physical Education Instructor, teacher.
And this one's been
That-
open for about a month now, I think.
About two.
Something like that.
About two.
Has it been long? It might have
Yeah,
been.
it's been. All right, I need a motion.
I'll make that motion.
Need a second, please.
I'll second.
Have any more discussion? Lisa, roll call, please.
Mr. Cook?
Yes.
Ms. Larison?
Yes.
Mr. Summer?
Yes.
Ms. Steele?
Yes.
Mr. Souders?
Yes. Okay, position transfer.
You can go together, just acknowledge.
Okay, we
that.
have acknowledged that Teresa Nippo will be going to Metropolis Junior High Special Education Aid. And Casey Douglas will go to Metropolis Junior High 7th grade math. Need a motion?
No. you don't have to.
Nothing? Okay, we've already taken care of that. All right, let's see. Is there any other items? Anybody have anything else to say here? If not, I need a motion to adjourn. I have a second.
I'll second.
We have a second. Any more discussion? Lisa, roll call, please.
Mr. Cook?
Yes.
Ms. Larison?
Yes.
Mr. Summer?
Yes.
Ms. Steele?
Yes.
Mr. Souders?
Yes. Thank you all.
Just
Have a
close,
good night.
I think everything went well at the junior high graduation and the high school graduation.
Good.
Congratulations, Debbie, by the
Yeah.
way.
Oh,
yeah.
Debbie.
You put a lot of years in.
It's just too long, too many, too more years.
And we'll go on and find somewhere
Yeah, I need to share that with.
with the principal, let you get one.